Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. And yep, flat tire. Well, to be fair, I flattened this myself and I took out the valve stem, but I wanted to start making some videos, just some normal videos, like back to the basics type of stuff, like in this video, how to change a tire. And well, let's get started. So we've all been there if we own a car, or more than likely been there, but it's very common. One day you'll get there where you'll come out going to work and that's flat and those are not. Or even worse, you're on the road, maybe a highway, driving down doing 60, and all of a sudden you notice the steering wheel start tilting to one side and it's leaning, getting harder to turn. That's usually indications of a flat tire. Now, even worst case scenario is you have a blowout, which means the tire pretty much explodes. Now, what you want to do, and it's very hard, you want to be calm. No jerking of the wheel, no jamming on the brakes. That can end up very, very bad for you. So normally what you should do if you have a blowout, you'll hear an explosion, it's loud, and then you'll feel a vibration, the steering wheel, the car will lean to one side, it may even pull hard to one side. Grab the steering wheel firm, let off the gas easy, let on the brakes easy. Also, watch your surroundings, usually they happen on the highway in high speeds. And get off somewhere safe where you can look out and assess the damage if there is it. Sometimes it may be something else that blew. But what I will say, and I've seen it too many times, and I've heard too many horror stories, people getting on the side of the road, on the shoulder of the highway, changing out a flat, and sadly getting hit, struck, and killed by another driver not paying attention. I'll say this, if you have a flat, and you know you have a flat, or something's really, really wrong, even if there's a wide berth of shoulder, get off the next exit. Get off somewhere you know is safe, where people are not going by you doing 65, 70, dangerous highway speeds, where you're literally standing right there and the highway is right here. A tire and a rim, sure, it could be a couple $100, but it's not worth anyone's life. So regardless of the scenario, you have a flat. You're now pulled off to the side of the road. Maybe you walked out your house and you saw it. There are ways of checking if you maybe have a nail, but maybe you don't have the time to do that. I gotta get going. Well, I'm gonna show you how to change it using the spare in your back. Now, something everyone should do, new car, old, but mostly old, when you buy a used car, you definitely want to check if the rear has a spare. And yeah, there's a lot of junk in this trunk, but we do have a spare and a jack and some tools. Normally every car should have this, but if you're buying used, they can get misplaced very easily. So what you do is locate these tools, pull out that jack, pull out that breaker bar, and go to the front of the vehicle. Okay, so now you got your tools out, and you'll see something similar to this depending on the vehicle. You'll have your little screw jack. It's called a scissor jack, actually. This is your tool to make it jack a little easier. Kind of just bring it up and around like that. Turn. It'll get harder once you get into the vehicle. And this is your lug nut style breaker bar. So what you want to do, step one, before you even put this up in the air, is make sure your handbrake's up, make sure you got some stability where the vehicle's not going to roll on you, because these aren't the most stable jacks. Now, with that being said, if the vehicle's not going to move, it's not going to roll, you want to take this, make sure it's the right, don't, little movement's fine, but you'll know if it's going to fall off. And you want to break the lugs loose on the floor. A lot of the times you can't really get it by hand, so just use your leverage to your advantage. Right, so there we go. Little step on, just be careful, don't snap your leg in the process. You do this to all four. Just a quarter, half turn. Don't take the lug nuts off completely, then you have risk of the tire falling off of you. All right, now that we have all four off, we're gonna put our jack up on the ground, the right point, and get this off with the wheel off in the air. So located under your car, you have these things called pinch wells, usually. And if it's a unibody car, you'll have that, and it's that right there. Depending on the car, it's all different. The jack itself will actually say where you should jack the car up. Follow the owner's manual, follow the jack, but in this case, we're gonna put it right under there. So right under there, we're gonna get it lined up, hit that piece right there, and then the more you go, you can see the car is actually lifting up with the type of leverage I give. But once you're in there and it's solid, it's on good on both sides, you're gonna jack the car up in the air. Another thing while jacking up a vehicle is make sure you're on a level ground. Nothing sloped that where it's going to tilt. These aren't the most stable. But after a certain point, and I want to do this because this tire has a lot of flex in it since it's flat. But once you take that off and get the new tire out the donut, usually the spare, you might have to jack this up a little more because it has air. So now with that being said, crack them all loose if they need a little more leverage. You do that there, because once this wheel's in the air and you try to break a tightened on lug, it's just gonna spin the entire tire. Now go ahead and get those 4 lug nuts off. Right, so once you got your lug nuts off, carefully take off the tire. Make sure it's not caught up on anything. And there you go, tire is off. Now, of course, if you have the time, now would be a great time to check your brakes. But yes, this is your brake pad. This is a caliper design. Real quick, I'll probably make another video on brakes and whatnot, but that is the backing plate of the caliper, and that is the meat part right over there. Okay, so since I don't actually have a hole in this tire and I just let out the air, normally what you would do is run to your back over here, grab that tire out. It's usually screwed in, kept safe so it's not jostling around over the rear of the car, and we put that on just like we took that off. Also, what I highly recommend to keep in your car is one of these AC powered inflators. It's just perfect for what you need. A lot of the times, oh, coming to help, bro? No, but really, a lot of the times, like, I can't tell you how many cars I've had that had spare tires I didn't even check. And when I went to go put them on, they were dead flat, going right back down. So these always come in handy because I always, and more than likely, everyone always forgets to check the air in your spare. I see you. Would you be stealing my lug nuts now? Now, while I'm out here filling up my spare, or in this case, the regular tire, you want to keep away from the danger zone, and this is the danger zone. These aren't always as good looking as mine. Sometimes they're covered in rust, and heck, if you have an older car, sometimes they're a bumper jack, and well, those are terrible. But for added security, if you're going to be anywhere in this area, put something underneath in case this jack fails. It will fall onto that wheel. Okay, because I realized I don't want to turn the car on while it's sitting on that. I'm actually gonna fill it up to, what is it, like a 15? It's good enough, it'll hold in the car. And I'll just put it on the car, everything buttoned down, and then fill it up when it's running off of the alternator so I don't kill my battery. Okay, so now you got your spare tire. Now you want to do a quick inspection to make sure this is all good to go on and it's not going to blow out just like the other one. So what you're looking for is any cracks, chunks missing out, any indication that's old, dry rotted. You know what old rubber is. If you look at an old rubber band and you try to pull it and it snaps, think of it that just on a bigger scale. Okay, so now we got our new tire on, and well, not on. As you can see, the lug holes aren't lining up because the tire has more air in it than the other one. And usually people get scared something's wrong. All you gotta do is jack it up just a little bit more, line everything up. Okay, so while now it's jacked up just a little bit more, you can see it's not caught up on anything, it's not tilting. The hub is nice and aligned. You want it nice, sitting nice and flush and not catching on the bottom. So now once you have done that, put your lug nuts in. Just get them going by hand right now until you can't tighten them by hand anymore. But now that you got them all tightened on by hand, you're gonna grab the tool, get in a little bit more, and then you wanna snug it because if you try tightening it, it's just gonna move the wheel. And then you really won't be tight. So get them all good, nice and snug. Give them a good little 2. And you want to do it in the start pattern. I'm just doing it to show you. But once you get it on the floor, you're definitely going to want to seat it in the start pattern. I'll show you how you do that. See, the nice part about, oh, well, don't do that. So yeah, now that you got that all out, and slide that out, and now we'll move on. In terms of tightening the wheel, you want to go in a star pattern. And every car that has a different bolt pattern, more than 4, 5, 6, they're going to use a different star pattern. But we're going to concentrate on the 4 lug star pattern. So we're going to go from here to here to here to here. You can go almost any other way. You can go from here, 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 here. As long as you're going across. 4 lug is going to be the easiest. This way it seats the hub correctly to the wheel correctly to the hub, and you have no issues of this thing falling off. So now, you can even do this. And give it a good little step to tighten. Don't do crazy. leverage to your advantage. And there you go. You have successfully changed a flat tire using your tools and spare that come with the car. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fill this thing up and clean up. Hopefully don't get harassed by any more birds. But yeah, like and subscribe and follow for more. I'm gonna do more little DIY kind of back to the basics type videos on just maintaining your vehicle. All right, guys, thank you.